Thundera to third earth, we answer to the call. With the sword of omens, we will never fall. Cheetah speed and Panthro strength, we're ready for the fight. Thundercats are on the move, lighting up the night. Thundercats are loose, feel the magic, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose, we won't break and we won't rule. Yeah, the Thundercats are cool.
Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to talk about Lion-O. Now, what's funny is I've been on the quest for getting the perfect Lion-O, as you guys know. Many customs, many all kinds of other things. And I tried to make my own ThunderCats channel. I just can't get the subscriber support, so I'm going to leave the channel on there so those who want to subscribe can still subscribe. But until then, I'm just going to make this a He-Man ThunderCats channel. So expect more ThunderCats stuff. Hooray! And we're going to still focus on a lot of He-Man stuff too. So don't worry, it's not going to become a ThunderCats channel, but I'm going to cover some ThunderCats stuff for here and there. I got a lot of ThunderCats figures all stacked up right over there, all the way to the floor of ThunderCats. So we are still going to do a lot of He-Man stuff too. Don't worry. That is my first thing is He-Man. But just so you know, the ThunderCats channel is still out there if you want to join. And once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll start putting more content onto the ThunderCats channel if that happens to pan out. But until then, here we are. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so I have this cool new ThunderCats figure, and this is version 3 from Super7. And there's something cool about this figure I'm really hoping comes true from what I've heard about this figure. So let's go ahead and open it up. And before I do, just really quick, as you guys know, like I mentioned a second ago, we did have our ThunderCats channel, the two things we have. So I did make this cool graphic available. I haven't made it available yet, but it might be available soon on the ThunderCats channel. But anyway, let's go ahead and check this guy out. So this is version number 3. So they made version 1, and version 1 is this figure right here, Super7 version 1. They made version 2, which is, I believe, this one right here. Zoop. So here is version 2. And then prior to version 1 and version 2, we had the Mattel version. Burp. And this is the Mattel version right here. Now, I was really hoping that version 2 would give us what I was looking for out of version 1, which I will talk about in a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing open and check him out and see if it has what I want. Well, you know what? I'll just tell you. I'm not going to make you guys wait. What I really, really wanted was a Lion-O that did not have pinholes. Pinholes? What are you talking about, Hebrew? Pinholes are these holes right here in the joints, like the elbow joint right here, the knee joint right here, sometimes in the ankle joint. And these pinholes have plagued us since the very beginning of our classics. And people would say, Mattel, make us some cool plugs to put in these holes, to plug these holes up or something. And originally he had ankle holes too. But it's just always kind of bothered us all for a long time. Well, as they started going to ThunderCats, they all came in pinholes at first, but then as they went down the line, the newer versions didn't have pinholes. I'm like, oh, the new ones don't have pinholes. No way. And that was like super important to me. Like even this clear one here, no pinholes. I don't think. Nope, no pinholes. And then we got the newer style, which didn't have pinholes. But as you guys know, I've mentioned it many, many times, I'm not a fan of the newer style. I really like this style here because it matches our He-Man classics much better as opposed to the cartoon style. I know people like the cartoon style. That's cool if you do. I only have him because he's lighted, not because of his styling. Anyway, so I went and bought version 2, hoping version 2 did not have pinholes. And lo and behold, version 2 had pinholes as well. Bum, 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 bum. So then I got this mirror Lion-O. And it's crazy because even though version 2 had pinholes in their graphic of their, on the website, it didn't show pinholes in the computer generated one. So then I got this mirror version, and the mirror Lion-O did not have pinholes. I'm like, yes, all I have to do is take this guy right here and take this guy right here, version 1 or version 2, and just start swapping out the arms of the biceps and the legs here, and then I would use his and swap out the boots, and bada bing, bada boom, I would have a no pin version. So I went to town and work on that, and I have a whole entire video about me tearing apart a version 2 and version mirror, and I found out the pinholes where they connect are different. No! So I ended up accidentally destroying one of these arms, trying to make it work to use this on a blue body, and it just got destroyed. So my next thing was to cut it off at the shoulder and try there. And I found out even the legs were different for the pins, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but I ended up not being able to merge the two back together. So I rebuilt my blue one back to normal, and then just kind of realized it was a failure at that point. And kind of annoyed because, you know, I spent a lot of money trying to merge those two figures. So then I thought, you know what? They have the new toy color one. Toy color. And so I figured the toy color one, it's blue. I'll just use that for the main clothing. And then I will just swap out the arms and legs and be done with it. How cool will that be? Then I can have, you know, maybe just swap the head even would probably work. So I got the toy one. And oh, the color is completely different. I mean, granted, his tunic is blue, a different shade of blue, but his skin is like orange. Orange. I remember now having an orange Lion-O as a young adult. My wife bought it for me at a secondhand store, and it was my first Lion-O I ever had. It's like, oh, this is so cool. Because if you don't remember, Thundercats were a little more expensive than He-Man figures when they first came out a long time ago. And so, yeah, there was no Thundercats in my life. And I forgot about this bright orange for the toy and how it looks, which obviously you can't mix it to make it work just right. Now, granted, I could have just gone at this and did a bunch of cool shading and stuff to make it the coloring I wanted, but it was just like, no, that's not going to work. So that did not work. I'm also take the cover off this version 2 as well while I'm at it. Just set it up there. So I have gone through a plethora of Lion-Os trying to make a pinless blue Lion-O, just like this, but pinless. And rumors have it, version 3 could and probably is pinless. I think I looked on the side trying to see that. And so, that is what my excitement's all about. Is will I finally get my pinless Lion-O after all this time? Or will it be close enough to merge with the red one and do it that way? So let's open up this bag. Open the bag. Now, the newer figures do not have the cool sleeve over the top. They are sleeveless. And there we go. Now, the coloring is a little bit brighter than we saw with the gritty Lion-O here. But that's okay. I could do head swaps and all kinds of other stuff to make the perfect Lion-O I want. I just need a pinless Lion-O with the blue tunic is all that I'm after. That's all I want. And it looks like it is pinless. Look at that. Look. I don't see pinholes. I don't see those pinholes. I'm getting excited. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know. I want the pinless one. All right, let's open this up. Version 3 Lion-O. Now, if this is the case, I might buy some more because I have a couple other figures that also are not pinless that need to be pinless. A couple other Thundercats. Thunder. So, kind of fun. He has the cool whip arm, which we've seen that before. He actually comes... You know what? It is basically the red one in blue. Except for the head. They did a little bit of head... See, they got the cool arm in the back with the whip on it. They got the sword. It is the exact same box. Except for some of the coloring is different. Which is cool, as I have a red one all tore apart. I could steal those other gloves out of it and some other pieces like the heads and stuff. Well, that is exciting. Because I can actually use those red pieces I destroyed accidentally. The Super 7, don't use tape. If you're watching, stop with the tape. It's not so bad on plastic parts, but it's definitely really bad on cloth parts. Let's get out the sword. The Sword of Thundera. Or the Sword of Omens. Sword of Omens. The Eye of Thundera is in the Sword of Omens. There we go. Oh, looks like he's got some stuff holding him in here. Let's cut those off. Cut. Oh, these scissors have seen better days. Yes, as time goes on, these cheap scissors, they end up... there we go. You can do it. He has a whole plethora of hands I'm not going to pull out of there. You can just see them in there. I'll pull them out later when I go to box them. And, da-da-da, Pinless. Pinless. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about articulation. Ooh, sharp nail. So we have ankle articulation. We have the boot cut, maybe. Yep, boot cut. We have a single jointed knee. Oh, with ratcheting. Then we have a hip with ratcheting. We have a waist. We have the ab crunch. We have the shoulder movement, bicep cut, and elbow. Single jointed. Weird. Sorry, you guys. Let me zoom this out a little bit so I stop getting out of camera angle. Then we have the wrist. It moves back and forth on this side, but it's a tight joint. And then it moves back and forth on this side. All right, and of course his head moves. Bump, 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 bump. There we go. Yes! I have finally got a pinless one. That is so cool. Now, he does have a paint scuff on the inside of his arm right there. That's probably where he was in the package or something. I'm not sure. Not terrible. Looks like the arms are on the correct side. You've had problems with the arms being swapped. Very cool. Now, what's nice about this is I mentioned before I have pieces of my red one in here. I could go with a tanner version if I chose to by using the red pieces. I'm not going to, but I could. Swapping out the arms, the shoulders. Of course, then it would be the wrong color here and in his chest there. Crazy, crazy. I might put a wash on him just to darken him up a little bit. Just because I want him a little bit darker. Now, I did notice this plastic on his hands. It does feel like it's cheaper plastic. I don't know if it's just because of the coloring or what. But to me, it just looks like it's just slightly translucent. I don't know completely. But it does appear to look a little different than I was anticipating. It doesn't have that same plastic we saw way back at the beginning with these guys here. This plastic here reminds me of those candy corns you get at Halloween. And this plastic here reminds me of that cheap fake candle plastic they use when they make fake candles. So it's kind of weird how they're different like that. But there they are. Finally got my pinless one. Dun 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 dun. All right. I think that is pretty much about it. I just wanted to really badly get a pinless one. Again, I'm not super happy with the way he looks tone-wise for his coloring, but that's okay. I've noticed I keep getting different shades. He's a little darker than this one. This one's a little darker than the pink one we got. So it's kind of funny. They keep just going a little darker, but not as dark as they did for the original ones. So much better, though. I love having the old sculpt. It's funny that they actually released version 3 after the lighted one and the other one that they released with that body sculpt. So for some reason I went back to this body sculpt. Thank you, Super7. I'm so happy this figure is so cool. So cool. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of wash on him. Just a little wash. They have some wash already on his blue. It looks really cool. I wish they would have carried that into the muscles, but that's okay. I'll have fun washing him with like a brownish type color. I'll probably put the wash in his hair too. Nice. Nice. Excellent. All right, so after I put his wash on him, this will probably be my main Lion-O. I'll have to put all the others in a different box because I have no reason to keep them all in the same box that I've been putting them all in. Now that I have the Lion-O I've wanted for way too long. Now, don't get me wrong. At one time, I was content. When he first got the Mattel one, I was stoked. That was exactly what I was looking for. And if they would have never made any of them pinless, I'd have been fine with that Lion-O forever. When they started making pinless ones, it was like, no, he doesn't. How can the main characters have pinholes and the other ones don't? So, yes. Yes. Anyway, so, in the comments, put if it's important to you to get one without pins, or if you're just like, dude, you are focusing way too much on something so unimportant. Let me know. And if you like the idea of the ThunderCats being more prominent in this channel as well, let me know that as well, what you think, as opposed to cutting them off into their own separate channel. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. And like they say in the ThunderCats, thunder, thunder, ThunderCats, ho! He's the only guy with a sword. Actually, I got a guy over here with a sword, too. He could have done it. I could have done it. All right. Bye now. Thanks for joining me.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!